Hi, welcome back to I Am Life Puzzle. I'm Ann Kramer, and today what we're going to look at is the thinking edge. This is the third of the 5 edges that we build over the course of our childhood into early adulthood, about 24. And in that process, we build ourselves. We start making the thinking edge at around age 9. And in the process of putting this edge together, we go from a person who really can't make logical choice to a person who truly can. And the thinking edge is complete whenever you make a choice, you then take the responsibility for the consequences of that choice, right? So think about that. This thinking edge isn't formed at, say, 5, because we want children to make choices, but we don't hold them completely responsible for the consequences of their choices, because at 5, we don't have much data. And that's what this is really connected to, is that the more data you have collected over the course of your childhood, the better you are at making choices and then taking the consequences of those choices. So this one works oftentimes with the emotional edge. We feel first and we think second. So something's happening, something's crashing at me, I'm going to have an emotional response of maybe fear. And then my thinking kicks in and I try to make some choices. And we get better at making choices over the course of our journey. Young children don't know what choice to make. Hopefully by the time we're 24, we do know what choice to make, and our self begins to grow. But when this edge is not well formed, right, we then have the capacity to let others come in and shape us and make choices for us, right? This certainly happens for us when we're young, and our parents, right? Our parents will come in and make choices for us because we might be 12 and we don't know which choice to make. But little by little by little, as we build this thinking edge and our self gets stronger, our parents back out and give us the capacity to have a self that can make those choices. And ideally, by the time you're about 24, your parents are out of your puzzle and your self has come together and you are making the choices that are right for your life. But the truth is, there are a lot of people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s who still have not completed this edge, who either refuse to take responsibility for their choices and blame others when they make a choice, or they continue to let people come through and shape them. And they're always doing things to please others, but not necessarily the things that they really want to do for their own life puzzle. So it takes a while and a lot of testing, of trying things out and finding the consequences and saying, oh, I don't want to do that again. But little by little by little, by about age 24, this edge should form. And as it coordinates with the feeling, thinking, we feel first, we think second, we, by the time we're 24 in an ideal situation, would be able to launch into adulthood and feel our feelings and make choices and own our own life and take responsibility for building the rest of our life puzzle. If this hasn't happened for you, it's never too late. We can always build our edges no matter what. And I can remember one time I was working with a 27-year-old, and she came in one day and walked up to this and slapped the thinking edge. She said, I finally completed it. And we started laughing, but it was a real life example of someone who had allowed her parents to kind of come through and shape her and make choices for her. And she was going through a family thing, and her mom had said, hey, I'll take care of it for you. Just tell me what to do, what you're looking at, and I'll do it for you. And she finally had to say to her mom, Mom, I'm 27. I need to make those choices for myself. And so at that point, my client was very happy to say, my thinking edge is complete. I own my own self. I take responsibility for building the rest of my life puzzle. It's a great feeling to have when that finally is completed. And we hope here at Life Puzzle, you'll consider how this all comes together and yourself gets stronger to build the rest of your life puzzle. Life Puzzle, a piece at a time with the whole you in mind. And in a further detailing of this, there is another video called The Feeling Thinking Flow and the Roots for Addictive Behavior Choices. And in that video, we go into much more detail of how we can get stuck in building our emotional thinking choice making and not really make the choices that we want. So look for that video as well, and you can get more details on how we learn to put the emotional edge, the thinking edge together, in that process create a self that can take responsibility for the rest of our lives. Life Puzzle, a piece at a time with the whole you in mind.